This podcast is proud to be part of the TalkSport Fan Network. TalkSport. Powered by fans.
The TalkSport Fan Network is proud to be partnering with Lotto from the National Lottery. You know that Lotto's basically the OG millionaire maker, right? You can get involved and play every Wednesday. Crazy. Imagine you won this Wednesday's jackpot. How wild would that be? Rules and procedures apply. Players must be 18 or over.
We're BetMGM Sports and Casino. We know things aren't always golden. That's why we offer you the tools to keep your place safe. Set timeouts to always ensure you take a break when you feel like you need it. Set reality checks so you know exactly how long you've been playing. And set deposit limits to help control what you spend. Stay golden with BetMGM. Play responsibly.
18 plus.
Good evening all, it's Monday night once again and welcome to the Tilton Talk Show sponsored by AMG Logistics. I'm Paul Hipkiss and I'm joined by the Queen of the Tilton, Claire Giblin.
Good evening.
Mr. Robe, with his heating off this time.
Good evening everyone.
The man from the States, the Englishman from the States, Mr. Mark Meredith.
Evening all.
The Chairman Alan Watton.
Good evening.
The main man Chris Browne.
Good evening.
And last but by no means least, I'm delighted to say, for his hat-trick ball, third appearance on the show, is the voice of Blues TV and the once scorer of one of the best goals I've ever seen at St Andrews against Norwich City. That was a hell of a goal, Tommy. Mr. Tommy Mooney.
Woo, 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 woo,
Good
woo.
evening. Nice to see everybody again.
Oh, yeah.
Welcome back, mate. Welcome back. So what could we possibly talk about tonight? What a great week for Blues. Obviously, 2 wins. And obviously, May Day last Tuesday. A nice brace from Alfie last Tuesday against Stockport, followed by, a good win away on Saturday as well at Barnsley. And probably goal of the season from Jay Stansfield, the first one. Off we go. Tommy, what did you think, mate? I'll start with Stockport. So I know you was on co-coms for that, weren't you, on Blues TV? So what were your thoughts on Stockport, mate?
I think what we've seen in the last couple of weeks, particularly when you look at, the first Exeter game, Blackpool, in amongst those games that you mentioned, is we've seen different styles of football.
Yeah,
which is really pleasing because I think at stages at the beginning of the season, it was pass, trying to break teams down very much. And I'm not trying to compare, but very much like, Man City have to do every week. And, the big teams have to do is the opposition come in and put a defensive unit, 2 blocks of 4 in front of them and break them down. We've had to do that, and we have done it successfully. Yeah. But I think particularly you look at the Blackpool game in the cup, playing the 2 big boys up front, it's a different style of football.
Yeah,
it just shows you that you have to have a plan B, and we had that plan B at Barnsley. We certainly had it against Stockport. And when you're getting positive results with a change of plan, it just affirms the decisions that Chris is making and the players are buying into. So that's the most pleasing thing for me, because I did have a little bit of concern that it would just be this way or nothing. And for me, the last month, say, has suggested that, we've got a really good squad because we can put out strong teams when we make changes, and we can also adapt to the opposition, the weather conditions, the pitches, because, in the future, the pitches ain't going to be what we've been playing on in the opening couple of months of the season.
No, definitely. And I think, it's so much better as well having Alfie May in the 9, isn't it? And I think Jay on the left is working a treat as well, isn't it? Going really well.
So much better. Alfie May, I'm sure everybody would agree, was almost lost playing in the 10.
Yeah.
Slot. He's not that type of player. He needs to be further up the field. He's not a Dukey. He's not going to hold the ball up.
No.
Play with his back to play like a traditional number 9. He needs to do what he's done his whole career to get his goals, and that's his energy, enthusiasm, work rate, and then finish when the chances come to him. Yeah. And he needs to be further up the field to do that. I'd love to see them play efficiently in a 2, but the way things are going at the moment, the flexibility you have with Jay going wider and still getting his chances, then, whichever way or whichever formation they choose, it's about how the players see it. Once they cross the white line, it's down to the players. It's nothing to do with tactics.
Yeah, 100%. And I think those 2 goals against Stockport as well from Alfie were typical of a typical number 9, weren't they? Like Kevin Phillips type, fox in the box, finisher. And yeah, both goals were exactly that.
Yeah, and one of them was a little bit fortunate, but the other was about knowing where to be and when to be there.
Yeah.
And really, really good play in the build-up. And we've seen it several times this season, haven't we? They have, on paper, they've got a fabulous starting 11, whichever 11 it is. And in this division, they're the marquee team. Everybody wants to play at St Andrews because a lot of the players in this division haven't played in front of 25,000 people.
That's right.
They want to see St Andrews rocking, and it's rocking week in, week out, which is a huge, huge bonus to the players.
Yeah.
And I think that, that atmosphere has got us over the line a couple of times.
No, definitely it has, yeah. And Claire coming on to Sunday, for me, it was obviously a battle, wasn't it? I don't think the conditions obviously helped, but that clearance from Paik, was so important, wasn't it? It was 1-0, was it 1-0? Was it 1-1? Sorry, when he did that, I can't remember. Was it
1-0? What was it?
0-0.
Was it 0-0?
Yeah, 0-0, I think. Yeah. I don't know. It all just merged into one.
Yeah, absolutely.
In fact, they scored. They picked the ball up from his header and they scored.
Yeah, but we go 1-0 down, but we react again, don't we? And an instant response from an absolute worldie from Jay. Before we come on to that, I do want to send all our regards on to Alex Cochrane. It was obviously a very nasty injury that he picked up. I don't think there was any intent there from their player to hurt him. Otherwise, I thought the ref might have spoke to him, to be honest. I'll say that because it looked like he caught his ankle to me. But what do you think, Claire? We've not had any updates on his injury, have we?
I've heard different things. I think we thought the worst when the stretch came on. I'm hoping it's just a cut and he's had to have stitches, and hopefully I think he'll be out for over Christmas. I thought the weather was not very good at all, which affected the whole game, really. It was very, very scrappy, especially the first half. I think we missed Williamson massively, and I think we missed Keshi Anderson as well. Keshi Anderson on Tuesday was like a new footballer.
He was outstanding against Stockport, wasn't he?
Yeah, I'm not really seeing what Harris brings to the table. I know that there's been a couple of comments saying about sending back. I don't know whether he is built for this level yet. I don't think we've seen him in his correct position either. I think we put him out wide sometimes. We sometimes put him behind Alfie, May or Jay. But I just think that the second half, it's like we needed them to score, and all of a sudden we woke up. As soon as they scored, we woke up.
Yeah.
I don't think they really brought anything to the table. They're a very long ball team, very throw the ball in. Evening, Craig, Courtney.
Evening, all. Sorry, I'm late. He's the birthday boy. Really happy.
But I think Jay's goal was brilliant, and it shows if he comes in off the wing, he can bring you that. And the amount of runs that he made, when Leonard came on, he calmed it all down. The ball he sent through and Jay nearly scored a hat-trick from was brilliant as well. And finally we score from a set piece. So I know it's something that they've been working on, and Jay comes round the back, and it was just brilliant. It was a good win, and I think we needed it. I think 2 wins in a row in the league, and obviously we're unbeaten in about 4, isn't it? So we go tomorrow. Hopefully he'll rest a few tomorrow. Again, I would like to see Leonard in there. I'd like to see Paik or Iwata rested. I think they need it. I'd probably even try and rest both, and even play Keller there as well. And then we go on to Saturday, and I think we're really looking forward to that. But fair play to the 5,000 travelling down. The weather was awful on the motorway trying to hold on. But it was really good, really pleased.
Yeah, absolutely. And Tommy, it's important, isn't it, to have players definitely in that front 4 in this system that score regular goals. And I'm trying to think of another player that's played for us from the left that scored a lot of goals. Can you think of anyone?
I can't. Depends how long your memory is. No, I think it's important. Obviously, with Jay and with Alfie, you've got 2 players up towards the top end of the top scorer chart. I know Stockport have got two as well, and that have scored more goals between them. But it's about sharing the goals around. And for me, Stansfield's second goal is better than his first one, purely as a goal scorer. You get in those areas, he's thrown his head. He didn't even see it go in the net because he just knew he had to get his head on it. And that's arguably more important. You know, sometimes we can all hit a worldie, but being in the right place at the right time, that we talk about, you know, Alfie May's goals and why he gets his goals. If Jay can add that to his game, then that is going to get him to closer to the 20 goals that I'm sure he wants, because that's the number that when every striker says, I don't have a number in mind, it's absolute nonsense. Everybody wants to get to 10 as early as possible, then you're 15, and get to 20, and it's a sigh of relief because it's a justification for the club bringing him in.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, you know, without, and I'm not putting any pressure on him at all. I want him to just enjoy his football as a young lad, but he's a very good player and he's pivotal to the way that we play. But I have to, you know, Claire mentions Paik and Iwata. I think they've been absolutely brilliant. Yeah, all throughout. I mean, I almost feel like a season ticket holder. I've seen that many games this season, albeit working. But between the two of them, their vision, their control, and their composure has been outstanding. Yeah, I would only perhaps say, and if anybody had listened to any of the commentaries, I love Cochrane. I think he will be a big miss, however long it may be. Yeah. Hopefully it's a superficial wound and nothing more, but I'm sure we'll find that out. But his deliveries into the goal-scoring areas have been outstanding. Yeah. So, yeah, everybody talks about, you know, Alfie and Jay, but two boys in the middle of the pitch and Cochrane have been unbelievable.
Absolutely brilliant, yeah. I mean, he gives me Martin Granger vibes, Cochrane, as a player. He just reminds me of him so much, don't you think?
Yeah, I'd go as far to say his delivery in the final third is better than Grange. You know, we know Grange, obviously I played with Grange, his set pieces were excellent, he loved to tackle. But, you know, unless I was 12'4", I wasn't getting on the end of too many of Grange's crosses. whereas Cochrane puts it in the goal-scoring areas at a headable height, or he whips it in really dangerous in that gap between the defenders. He's just an intelligent lad and a very good footballer.
And I think Stansfield as well gives me Devlin vibes at times as well. He's tigerish, he's quick, he's got that hell of a shot with his right foot like Dev had as well. You know, what do you think there? Does he remind you in any way as well?
Yeah, I think it's easy to make comparisons, and I get why you say that with Dev's. Hopefully he doesn't like a pint like Dev's did. And he goes in the ice bath a few more times than Debs did. But yeah, I see the similarities. It's just tenacity and a desire to win. Yeah, is a wonderful trait to have. Yeah, you know, but sometimes, you know, Dev towards the end of his career was a different player toward the one at the beginning, and Jay is at the beginning. So you can see him getting frustrated when he doesn't need to. He just needs to keep doing the same things.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah. How are you anyway, Craig? Happy birthday.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I'm all good. Long day when you've got to work, but nice to go into a Monday and be celebrating a good weekend as well. So, yeah, it was a good day out. And, you know, even on Saturday, I was being nice on Saturday because I even looked after somebody on Saturday that normally I wouldn't look after. And so, Mark Adams, I hope you enjoyed your day out, you know. And
He just said you lost him.
Oh, well, do you know, the other thing is the fact he may have said we lost him, but right, he was fed and he was drank on the coach as well. I mean, come on, I really looked after him.
Yeah, they did. And to be fair, Craig, I remember the comment, quote, "Don't give Robe any food or drink. He'll come back like a mangy cat."
That's right, yeah. It's just, you know, when you feed a cat in your garden, they come back for more, don't they? So I had to tell the girls off at one point.
Was it a pensioners bus or something?
Well, actually, do you know, it was a proper mix really of people, but first one I've ran, and you know, hopefully not the last. But let's just say I hope the next one doesn't get a fine like this one did, apparently. So, that's a different story for a different time. But no, Saturday was good, and going back to it, I thought across the midfield, the second half, the one thing that we showed was that we can play football, because if we'd have been putting that ball up in the air and constantly trying to whip them in and everything else, it just wasn't going to work with the way that the wind was impacting the game. And we played football. And that's what led to the goals ultimately, was the attacking prowess, and it was about the ball on the floor and being able to pass to each other without any concern. Second half, different team. And it's credit really to the boss for making the changes that he did to settle it down. I thought Juki coming on was actually gave him something else to think about, but also it freed people up then across the midfield. So we got more of the ball in the second half because of the fact that Juki was making his runs away and giving them the pressure, because he was always going to win the ball if it was in the air. But also, sadly, it's the first time that I've actually seen Chris Davies take the applaud to the fans, the way that he did, because he did his celebration and then he stayed there for a good 5 minutes, taking the applause, listening to the fans singing his name, which I haven't seen. And it was, again, it was just refreshing. Overall, though, great day. Thoroughly enjoyed it. 5,000 Blue Noses, making a racket. And I think, as Claire said, sometimes you go to games and when there's a big attendance in the away end, you don't get the atmosphere, whereas this time it was different. And the limbs for the first goal, I don't think the video gives it its true credit, because it was just mental. But from the time it left his foot, there was only one place it was going. And, I think everybody was looking at you thinking, wow, what a goal. But it looks even better on the TV.
Yeah, great goal. Really good goal. And And Alan, anything you want to add, obviously, that we haven't already gone over across the sort of Stockport?
Not having seen the game, couldn't get into anything, but I've watched seven different recordings of the highlights. And none of them showed the injury to Cochrane, and I just want to ask people who were there, was it a bad one? Was it, it was. It wasn't.
Yeah, it was all that. They were very dirty. They were very leaving packages on our players.
I did see some of that, but from a statistical point of view, shall we put it that way? To lose a player in the first 5 minutes, to concede an own goal, away from home and a gale force wind, and come out with two goals and 3 points. I was sitting I couldn't even get a radio commentary on, so I got my phone with and it was amazing. The old Sky blokes, and it's Birmingham going down. Oh dear, and they've scored. Everybody on the telly is dying for us to get beat again. And when the goal went in, it was this, that, and the other. And by the time they'd finished discussing it, we'd equalised, and then 5 minutes later, 10 minutes later, whatever it was, we got the winner. And it was so that and the Blackpool game have really, really lifted my spirits, because the things that we were doing early season, we're now doing with a different formation slightly, which we've needed.
Yeah.
And it's working, We won 4 on the bounce now, and that's only 2 weeks away. In 2 weeks, we won 4 games, and and the previous 2 weeks we lost 1 and drew 2, and it's so quick how it changes. And it was terrific. I'm hoping we can. I would like to see the sort of level of team that went to Blackpool turn out tomorrow night and win, and then all the big guns come back on Saturday and give. Bristol Rovers should be put to the sword, but we can't guarantee it, can we?
You coming up here Saturday?
I am indeed.
Yeah, good. That's good. Okay, no problem. Yeah, good. So, Mark Meredith, mate, last but not least, obviously, give us your thoughts, mate. I take it you watched Stockport and Barnsley, both games?
Yeah, I watched them both. I sat here last week and said take every game as it comes, and I hope that we were taught this week we had 6 points, and that's exactly what we got. And, echoing what Tommy said earlier, I think it was nice to see something a little bit different. The Stockport game, I thought we were excellent first half. Thought put them to the sword early. 2 good goals. Second half, we had to fight a little bit more. I don't think Stockport showed massive amounts of quality, even though they had a lot of the ball. You know, the double save from Allsop was probably the key to it. I think if they score there, then it's a different game going into the second half. But and then, you know, Saturday, the conditions were, from what I could see on the TV, not very good. You know, a lot of games around us were being called off. You know, we went into the game without Williamson, who's been one of our key players this year. You know, Lewis Cochrane, again, who's been another key player after 5 minutes. Anderson suspended. So, you know, exactly what Tommy said at the start, it allowed other players to come in and prove their worth, and just hope we can carry on pushing. I'd echo everybody's thoughts about tomorrow. You know, put the team in that played against Blackpool and give them a go. I think they're strong enough to go and win the game.
Yeah.
And then it'll be interesting to see what we do at the weekend. I think, you know, Williamson will come back from being sick and fit straight back in. We'll see what's happening with Cochrane, but I think if he doesn't play, it's probably going to have to be Laird going to left back for a little bit. You know, with Buchanan not being fit either. So, you know, it's been a good week, and all we can do now is hope for, you know, another win tomorrow, because it'd be great to have a little cup run in that. And then, as Alan said, hopefully we can roll over Bristol Rovers on the weekend, which, you know, people would say we can, but it's a funny old game, as they say, and hopefully we can get another 3 points there.
Yeah, no. And one thing I haven't mentioned as well, last Tuesday against Stockport, that's probably the best save I've seen at St Andrews for a long time. That header.
Amazing.
Yeah, brilliant save.
Brilliant save. Yeah.
World class.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah.
Mind you, sorry, Paul, I was going to say tomorrow as well, we're in the last 16 if we win. So all of a sudden, Wembley gets that little bit closer, doesn't it?
Yeah, no, definitely. And whatever trophy it is, it's the same stadium, isn't it? Where we won the League Cup.
Exactly, that's it. Are you not going to turn down a trip to Wembley? No matter what. It don't matter if you go to Wembley and play for a Mars bar. It don't matter. You're at Wembley.
Yeah, or Snickers.
Yeah.
Or in the case of you, Mark, it'd be a pass out from prison. But I mean, the other thing I should add, and Claire, I know you're going to hate me for this. One letdown from Saturday. I really, really, really wish that Laird could cross a ball.
So do I.
He whipped. He had the beating of the player each time. He was getting past them. He was making some fantastic runs down the wing. But then his last touch was atrocious, or he was looking for sometimes the perfect ball. And actually, with the weather the way that it was, it didn't need the perfect ball. It just needed sometimes just to be as accurate as you possibly could. But he didn't. He couldn't even beat the first player and the first defender, which was disappointing. But also, you know, to come back to Tuesday, I thought the other thing against Stockport was we also had that first 20 minutes where we were sussing them out. And once we knew where their ultimate weakness was, that was it. We just punished them. And that came across in the comments of the manager after the game, didn't it? When he turned around, he says, we played at 100%, but that still wasn't good enough for that team. Yet, I don't know about everybody else, but I don't think we got out of third gear. You know, I just think we were saying it on Saturday. We still haven't gelled. I still don't think we have seen our best 11 on the field. And that is pretty scary to say at this time of year. But when it does gel, somebody could take an absolute spanking. And I really do believe it's still got to come. You know, my prediction on Saturday is Boxing Day. Yeah.
Well, we got the Burton bogey to overcome. We've never beaten Burton in the league. So, but you know, equally, it'll be a good one to change all that, wouldn't it? If you stick 5 or 6 up them, that'll be payback for about 25 years.
That'd be lovely to watch that, Woodell. I hope that happens.
We can't do 6 again. Chris will be really, really cold.
Cold.
Chris, I'm going to come on to you next. I'm going to come on to you, Chris, just quickly, and tell us about your experience in the 12 lounge, the new 12 lounge in the Gilmerick before the Stockport game.
Okay. You want the honest opinion?
I want you rating out of 10.
Okay, rating out of 10, I'll give it a 6.5.
Oh, okay. A bit low, that. Okay.
Surprised at that, Chris?
I don't. Well, okay. I suppose a 6.5 is really based on the amount of money it costs to go in there. I mean, luckily I was there as a guest, but £150 a pop. It's a lot of money, that is. And you know what? You don't even get a programme. You don't even get a team sheet.
Oh, wow. Okay.
The beers like you need a second mortgage for. Food was absolutely fantastic.
What did you have?
Can't knock that. Well, you got a full American platter, which was a beef burger that was twice the size of my head. You had a full plate of spare ribs, plus accompaniments and so forth. But and the food, it's just absolutely fantastic, brilliant. But the all-round experience, okay, you get a padded seat that you walk out to, which is really, really
like
nice.
Marco has a padded cell.
Yes. I think if you're taking a youngster with you for the first time, maybe for a special occasion, it's probably not a good idea to sit there really, because you're actually above a lot of our own supporters that actually want to kill and maim the opposite supporters. So there's a bit of flowery language going on, but you'll be on right.
Aren't you?
It's part and parcel of being.
I turned to wave and he turned his back.
Yeah. Do fire in your questions for Tommy. Tommy's with us till 7:30 tonight, so appreciate your time, Tommy. And we've got a few fun things. I can't even speak. A few fun things lined up for you tonight as well. So say that after a few.
That's easy for you to say.
So we've got the Who, Chris.
You know what? I'm just looking on my board and I'm thinking, where's the Who? I'll have it up in a second. We're going
to go early with the Who, and then we've also got. He doesn't play for Barnet, but here's his Barnet as well.
I've got that line.
Got a couple of players. Do you want to do that first then?
Okay, we'll do that first.
Have we got anyone that Tommy played with?
You know what? I didn't think till afterwards, but yeah, I believe they are. Oh, do you want my theme tune to it? Well, first.
Go on then. It's got.
Go on. Theme tune. Didn't play for Barnet, but here's his Barnet. He's Barnet. He's Barnet now. Come on. Isn't
the voice of an angel.
Very good.
It's bad there.
Okay, so we've got two here. Here we go.
So someone's going to have to hold the phone up so Tommy can see it, obviously, and our viewers will see it on the screen. But I take it you haven't got the show live on your TV in the room there, have you, Tommy?
No, I haven't, no.
What do you mean you haven't?
I didn't think I'd get away with that. I could have had it right in front of it.
Players. We've got two players that played with you, and here's their Barnet.
I think I have them. I think I have them both.
Yeah, me. I've got them both.
Have you?
I can see it on Claire's.
I thought he would throw you the one on the left because I thought he's a bit younger and he's got a bit.
I know one of them.
On the left. Is that Grange?
Correct.
Yeah.
I recognise that pointy fringe anyway. When you're so desperate for a fringe, you recognise everybody else.
On the right,
is that Stern?
It's correct. Well done.
There you go.
There you go.
Well done.
Claire.
Well done.
They were way too easy, them ones, Chris.
Chris, you said they were going to be hard today. That was a lot simpler than last week.
I bet you've never had mine in there, have you, for somebody else?
And everybody on Facebook got on all the socials got them. So apart from Don, Paul Devlin, no.
And we got a Who as well. So we're going to record. We've recorded someone speaking that you played with. Tell us who it is.
Give us a couple of minutes for that because for some reason
one job.
I know. Yeah.
One job.
He's got 3 things to worry about now, though.
Keep on talking.
Do you reckon Louis Barry's out of Bilic's pocket yet?
Oh yeah. Okay. I don't think he is.
I think we're locking him up now until after the next game as well because I don't think he's getting anywhere near him. He was just ridiculous. That was. I mean, they made him massive, didn't they? He's going to do this. He's going to do that to you. And I got to be honest, I feared he would score, but yeah, never gave him any time whatsoever. It was brilliant.
Yeah,
I've got to say that Bielik in that position has been outstanding, hasn't he? Really good.
Yeah,
it's working well. I mean, I've never been a big fan of three at the back. The 3-5-2 or the 3-4-3, but it's working with this personnel that we've got now.
Working.
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah,
definitely.
But yeah, Claire, do you want to do quick fire questions then? Should we spend a couple of minutes doing that?
Yeah, let me find them.
You did this last time, Tommy, but we got a few different ones. So
go ahead.
Just while Claire's doing that, shall I just give I mean, we talked about the weekend and the Bristol game, but it's Blue Nose Day.
Yeah.
So for everybody, if you haven't seen it already, it is the day where all of the fundraising is going to take place on the day to help purchase gifts for underprivileged children and families in the local area. And today, the announcement, which I think is absolutely phenomenal, that whatever is raised will be matched by Knighthead, is just an absolute true gesture from the owners. I think it's absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
So on the day, obviously, there'll be the Blue Noses as there was last year up for sale, and then different things going on around the ground. But there are people doing a sleep out at St Andrews on Saturday evening. You can sponsor those guys, and I'll get a link up onto the board post the show. There's a cash raffle that I'm running. So if people want to have a go on that, then again, I'll post some details. And any funding whatsoever that's raised will go towards that foundation drive. So it's absolutely brilliant. It's going to be a wicked day on Saturday. And then on Sunday, it's a repeat for the ladies' game. So it'll be Blue Nose Day again on Sunday. So anybody that's coming down, watch out for the various different activities. But also, I believe some of those children that will end up with presents will also be present at St Andrews. For some of them, their first game, and hopefully not their last. So well done to the club. I think it's absolutely superb what they're doing. Following on from last year, and long may it continue, and we raise as much as possible.
Yeah, it's phenomenal, isn't it, what they've done in such a short space of time, Tommy? The club is just like a different place altogether, isn't it?
Absolutely. I think for quite a little while now, everything off the pitch is improving.
Yeah,
tenfold.
Yeah,
I got a shock when I first started doing more regular comms, particularly at St Andrews. If I got there at 1:30 before the game, it's packed outside. The fan parks are a fabulous idea.
Yeah,
it's one of the Americanized ideas.
Yeah,
but it suits St Andrews.
Yeah, massive.
I just think it's brilliant. I know most people have their own traditions and they go to a certain place, whether that's for a pint or something else, before a game. It just appears that there's more Blue Noses at the ground much earlier, and it just builds the atmosphere.
Yeah.
Most of the time when the players get to the stadium, it's empty.
Yeah.
It's not anymore.
That's right.
So the players already have got that bit of adrenaline because they can see all you guys there early, whether that's, singing songs, having a pint, quiet little chat. It doesn't matter. It's bodies in the area, and it builds that atmosphere. And the atmosphere before kickoff it's better than in my day.
Yeah.
And I didn't think that was possible because we had a full house every week, as you all know, going for promotion.
Yeah.
It is better.
Yeah.
They're doing everything off the field so much better than any other League One club in history. And there's been a lot of big clubs in League One, as we all know.
Yeah.
But off the field, it's heading in the right direction. Everybody involved in the club off the field is doing a cracking job.
Brilliant job, yeah. And that new fan park that they opened last week is just absolutely amazing. And my daughter wants to get down there for midday on Saturday so that we can have a good look at it and get there early,
I parked in the car park. I parked in the car park and walked through, and for a split second, I panicked and thought I'd missed the kickoff. So I was walking past the George thinking, surely the game hasn't kicked off already. The noise was unbelievable.
Yeah.
And obviously Tom was in that fan park. It was incredible atmosphere, and walking through all of the bodies, hundreds of people in the queue to get in. It was full, and that was an hour and a half before kickoff.
Yeah.
It's incredible what they're doing.
Yeah, what was it like in there, Claire? What was it?
It was really good. It was very, very busy. The food, they weren't selling food because the kitchen decided to pack up on the day. So, but it's quite tight for space. So I think that there will only be a certain capacity. But I mean, it was full. And then as soon as Wagner did his speech, everyone left.
Oh, okay.
But I just think that we need to kind of get something like that in the cup. I think because of the rain and everything, I think we need to try and get something where you can stand under cover. But it was good. I mean, there's lots of people on the bars and things like that. There's a lot of seating. And I just think it's a great idea for somewhere else to go as well. So I think it's going to be a money maker.
I think whenever we're away on Sky, or whenever the club are able to show the away games and beam them back, it'd be a great idea to have them in there. Yeah. And also, whenever England are playing in like the World Cup or the Euros as well, I think it'd be good. And
the screen was massive. The screen was really, really good. Like, and the sound in there, they had a band on and things like that. And like literally, you can hear yourself. It was really, really good. Definitely recommend.
Just ways of making more money from that, even when we're not playing at St Andrews. You know, even the Fury Usyk fight in a couple of weeks, if they beamed it there, you'd definitely sell it out. I think there'd be loads and loads of people go there and watch it. You know, so,
I can see a few more events coming up as part of that. For without fail, I think it'll take off, and it's been nothing but positives about it as well since it went through. But I agree, Claire. I think next phase, get some sort of sheltered area across onto the Cop. You know, I know that people will move now naturally from the Cop area to the fan park, but we do need something there, and no doubt they'll do it.
I'll bring it up in my meeting, Craig.
Hey, we know you've got the ear.
Come on, everywhere.
You want to do your... Yeah, go on, Craig.
I was going to say, do you want to shout out some of the comments on the message board? Because it has been quite big.
I'm conscious Tommy's with us till past, so let's do that. We got any questions for Tommy off anyone?
No questions that I've seen so far, but people, if you have got questions, please put them through and I'll get them read out. Pete Taylor has said that it's, go back on our comments. It's a shame that Louis Barry didn't play against us because he really wanted to. Right, what else is that? So Nigel Mann has said he has just realised that if you played Guess Who with the panel this evening, he's got 4 bald headies and he'd definitely lose 3 to 4 of them. So I have said that they are those 4. Unfortunately, Tommy, Paul, Watto and Mark Meredith because he covers his hair. So just waiting for a reply on that one.
I see 6 bald men.
Chris Lloyd has said that himself and Gary Nelson are coming up from Devon Blues OSC on Saturday and are doing the sleep out as well. So well done to the pair of you.
Fair play.
That's definitely a great show, that one. Nigel Mann, love the screens, the fireworks and the light show. I don't think, and I said it before, it's nothing better than St Andrews under the lights.
No.
I absolutely love it.
Tommy, are you doing the sleep out?
No, I'm doing the sleep in version.
Oh dear. So Claire, shall we come to you next? Quick 5 questions.
Yeah. So what's the funniest thing you have ever experienced on a football pitch?
Oh, not too many funny things. One that makes you smile is after we beat Millwall in the playoffs. Obviously, our coach got vandalised, so we were still in the centre circle hours later. And Theo Pathetis, who was the owner of Millwall, just kept bringing us crates of wine, champagne, beers, and that makes you smile. It's the only time I've ever had a drink in the centre circle of a football pitch after we qualified for the final at the Millennium.
And the Millwall owner of all people as well.
Apologising. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, obviously you don't condone that, and we wanted to get home as quickly as we could, but we had to wait for another coach to come from Birmingham, so that tells you how long we were waiting. But I can't remember what the second coach looks like. That's how much alcohol Theo brought us.
I bet Devon Horse had a field day, didn't they?
They were having races around the pitch. They were.
Brilliant.
What's the best half-time team talk you've ever experienced?
I've played 700 odd games, so I've experienced a few of them. The ones you remember the most are where you're struggling. So Steve Bruce was a very, very good man manager, and he would speak in front of the group if things weren't going right, and he, oddly enough, he didn't mince his words, the gaffer, to be fair. So, few rousing speeches, but more what he'd whisper in your ear individually. And sometimes you go in at half time and you're struggling and you end up winning the game, and it'd just be a nod or a wink after the game to say, you did your job well in the second half. Those are the best memories.
Did you have to perform an initiation song when you signed for Blues?
Initiation songs were done in pre-season with us. I didn't have to do a song, and because Horse was in the team and in the squad, and Nicky Eden, it was normally a drinking game. So it was more a case of doing a drink rather than singing a song, and I passed with flying colours.
What was the drink?
The TalkSport Fan Network is proud to be partnering with Lotto from the National Lottery. What would you do if you won £1 million this Wednesday? I mean, would you roll up to the game this weekend in a brand new ride, picking up your mates like some VIP chauffeur, or better yet, scrap the car altogether and book out the entire first-class train carriage for you and all your mates? I'm talking champagne flowing, your own private waiter, the whole squad living it up on the way to the match. Now that's an entrance. You never know, you may be the next millionaire. Lotto's all about those once-in-a-lifetime moments. Rules and procedures apply. Players must be 18 or over.
Yo, UK! At BetMGM, we give our players sports betting entertainment like nobody's business. Football, horse racing, darts, boxing, tennis, golf, NFL, NBA. You name it, we got it. Offers? You know it. Bet £10 and get £40 in free bets. BetMGM, it's showtime.
New customers only. Exclusions apply. 18 plus. Please gamble responsibly.
Oh, it'd have been a shot and a pint, knowing Horse. We had a really good Tuesday club. And we like to think that the Tuesday club, we had 8 to 10 in it, which is quite a big number. We had 8 to 10 in it, and we like to think that got us promoted. Nothing to do with Brucey coming in and good players signing. It was the Tuesday club that got us promoted.
Well, you know what they say, work hard, play hard. Who's the most influential captain you've ever played for?
Rob Page at Watford was a very good young captain who went on to become the Wales manager and will stay in the game as a manager. He was very, very good. Steve Vickers at Birmingham was very good. We used to swap the armband around. I remember playing for Watford at St Andrews against Watford for St Andrews, and Steve Bruce gave me the captain's armband because it was my old club and I'd been there for a long time. That's probably gives you an idea of what his man management's like, because he's in your head all of the time. Some things he would say to you that nobody else would know. So given that, I would say I was a pretty good captain, Claire.
Yeah, I would agree. I'm not going to lie. The quickest player you played with?
Quickest player at Birmingham. Do you know what? Little Jono was very, very quick on the wing. Quickest player to the bar was Horse. He'd always get the first round in because he knew once it got busier later, he didn't have to go back to the bar.
Clever ploy, that is.
It's a very clever ploy. I've utilised that tactic several times.
I love the way you said Birmingham, Tommy. You sounded like a brummer. You went Birmingham.
Well, I've lived here a long time now, Paul.
Birmingham.
I'm bound to get catching. It's all of you lot. It's like when I speak to my mum on the phone now, all of a sudden I become a Teessider again.
Oh, so the question is, do you say mum or mum?
Oh, definitely mum.
I mean,
oh, it's not a proper brummer yet then.
No.
Probably MOM.
No, it's still mum. It's still mum for me. She's still mum.
What's the best piece of advice you've ever been given?
The harder you work, the luckier you get.
Great.
And I ended up being very, very lucky. So I must have worked pretty hard. I had very little natural talent, but I had a huge desire to win. And I played for a long time. I played a lot of games. So, that must pay off.
Yeah.
792, I think.
Say that again, Chairman.
I said it's 782, I think.
738 games, I think it is.
38, okay. I know it was 700 plus.
Yeah. I was really lucky. I played till I was 38, finished playing in Spain. So, yeah, I was really lucky. Injuries along the way. I only had one real bad one. So I played a lot.
It was with us, wasn't it? When Trevor first signed you, wasn't it?
I had one worse than that at Birmingham. I missed 2 months in that promotion season. I missed 2 months.
Yeah.
I think I had 4 goals in my first 5 games and then broke my ankle.
Yeah, remember? Yeah.
Sorry, Trevor. I think Trevor had left before I came back.
Yeah.
And then obviously, I think I got 15 in 33 games. So I missed 17, 18 games that season.
Yeah.
Still managed to meet one target of 15 goals.
Okay. What was your favourite away stadium to play at?
Well, it definitely wasn't St Andrews playing for anybody else because it's a hostile environment, isn't it? I used to like the old grounds. I played at Leeds in 3 different divisions. Always a great atmosphere, always a full house. Chelsea, the old grounds, Chelsea, QPR even now, I think QPR can be a great atmosphere. The team's not as good as it was during my time, but I liked the old stadiums. I really did. But there's very few stadiums better than Anfield. I was a Liverpool supporter as a kid, so that was a special place. And then having played at the Millennium with the roof shut, I'm sure you were all there. That is the best atmosphere I've ever experienced, ever.
Didn't you run into one of Atomic Kitten or something as well, was it? Before the game? I remember.
Nearly killed her. I was running in after the warm-up and the tunnel was concrete and obviously I had studs on. So I've tried to slow down because she was just stood. They were just stood in the way. They didn't really understand how a tunnel works. Players come running in and out. They didn't understand that. And I couldn't slow down with studs on concrete. So I had to grab her and push her to the side.
Dear. That he did well there because that could have been.
It could have been that. If it had happened 20 minutes later, I'd have got a yellow card. Put it that way.
I'm trying to think of a gag that's something to do with one of their songs. But I can't think of their song.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a challenge for any of the listeners. Can you come up now with a pun to go alongside that? So Atomic Kitten and Tommy running into Atomic Kitten in the tunnel. There's your challenge.
The thing is, I can't remember any songs.
What, Claire?
Looking back on when we first met.
There you go.
No problem, anytime.
They couldn't escape. And couldn't escape, and they'll never forget.
Yeah.
Should never be whole again.
Stop it now. Stop it.
No. Oh dear.
Sorry,
I honestly can't think of any other songs apart from that one.
There is a few. Final one. What was your pre-match routine and meal? What did you used to do?
I would always have the same. I never used to eat bread, so I'd have salmon and eggs. And my routine, I was very superstitious. I think we've talked about this before. Very, very superstitious. I still am. It's just on the golf course now, not the football pitch. But really superstitious. Always left boot and left sock first. And always everything had to be neat and tidy. Couldn't have any mess. Needed a straight, clear head.
Did anyone ever try and mess that up, like just to try and wind you?
Yeah, a couple of times, but I didn't take an awful lot of messing around with. So a few people tried it and a few people regretted it.
Tommy, just a quick one before we go into the Who. Andy wants to know: have you written your autobiography yet?
No, ironically, I was asked to do an autobiography when I was still playing. I was playing in Spain because it wasn't the norm. It was. I played in America before Beckham did. In fact, on loan from Blues, I went to Dallas and New York and then finished playing in Spain. So there was elements of the foreign English players going and playing abroad, and they wanted to tie that in. But do you know what? I never did. I don't think I'd have the opportunity now, but I'm quite a private guy. I like the fact that it's all in here. And, as much as there'd be a few stories in there that people would want to know about, I'm happy with it staying in here. I don't mind telling a story or two, but the whole thing, I was a lucky boy and I did really well. That's about it.
Tommy, how come you left America to go to Spain? Did you not want to stay in the States, or was it taken out your hand?
Do you know what, Mark? I couldn't agree because I still had a year left on my Blues contract. And America pre-Beckham wasn't the money that it was post-Beckham. So they couldn't afford to pay my wages. So I it was New York Metro Stars that are now Red Bulls. I had a month there, came back, and then I had a month. In fact, I was on loan to Dallas for a month, but I came back after 2 weeks. It wasn't for me. I didn't enjoy it at Dallas, and I knew that I wasn't going to sign, and I was missing the kids. The kids were still back here in Dorridge, so I cut that loan short. And because
it's a horrible place as well, Tommy. You know, we know a few people from there, so we know it's a horrible place. So we get that.
Yeah, I mean, look what it's done to Mark. When I first met Mark, he had a full head of hair and an English accent. What America's done to him.
Right there.
Yeah, he could take his cap off. He's exactly the same as you now. Do you know what I mean? He's got a beard.
I'm the American Tommy Mooney now. Look.
It's a good look, Mark. It's a good look. Don't you listen to them? I like that.
Look at all them Greg Wallace lookalikes.
Yeah, but we're polite.
We've got the Who, Chris.
I've got the Who. Yeah. So if you thought my last jingle was bad, wait for this one. There we go.
Oh no!
Shut up. Here we go. Goes on a bit. Sorry. Oh, the flipping hell easy.
You've got too much time on your hands, Chris.
Today at all.
Went about 10 seconds too long for me, that did.
Okay, so that's gone on longer, and that's gone on longer than the actual Who bit. Here we go.
Get this. This is going to be harder, Tommy, than the Barnets.
Barely able to run because of the work that we'd put in, and I have to say, you question it as a player. You know, what's going on here? You can't play on a Saturday because we're knackered. After that.
Is that somebody I played with?
Well, he was only at Blues on loan for a short period of time, the season that he was with us.
I think he had 3 games.
So, yeah, that's why. I mean, I could have put Dev on there, but you just would have got him straight away, like you did with the Barnet. So I wanted to try and make it a bit more difficult. Obviously, anyone watching, please put in your comments who you think it is as well.
Yeah. It's
somebody from the 02, somebody from the 01-02 season that came on loan for a short period of time. Do you want to play it again, Chris?
Yeah, we go.
At the time I was going into matches, like barely able to run because of the work that we'd put in, and I have to say, you question it as a player. You know, what's going on here? You can't play on a Saturday because we're knackered. After that.
We're knackered?
We're knackered.
It must have been somebody after Brucey came in, because the training was a lot harder under Brucey than it was under Trevor. I just can't think who it was. Give me a clue. What position?
Midfield. Central midfielder. He's well known in the game.
Northern Irish.
Yes.
How'd you tell that there?
Knackered.
How did I say knackered in Southern Ireland then?
Knackered. It's not as harsh, it's just knackered.
Oh, okay.
We knackered. We be Jesus, I'm knackered. There you go.
Yeah.
Pete, that's a young Roy Keane, and I won't be convinced otherwise.
I have no idea with that. No idea at all.
Yeah. Nobody on Facebook has got it yet.
He played for Crystal Palace as well, and he played for Wimbledon in the Premier League.
Just have a look.
A lot of Premier League games.
Yes.
Don't let me down.
What's his name? He played for Northern Ireland, didn't he?
He did.
And he got Robbie Savage sent off in his only time when he played for Northern Ireland against Wales, and Robbie and him had a bit of a set to, and I can't for the life of me think his name. Is Michael something?
It is Michael
Hughes. Hughesy. Hughesy. How could I not get that? Yeah, of course, Hughesy.
Yeah.
A really good footballer, by the way.
Yeah,
really good footballer. In possession of the ball, very, very good.
Yeah. So
of course.
I told you that'd be a bit more difficult, didn't I?
It was a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, good one.
If you hadn't given me Michael, I wouldn't have got it. But yeah, Hughesy, good play. Yeah, I think he was only there a month.
Yeah, he literally came in and then he went, didn't he?
3 games. 3 games I just saw. He
only played like 3 games for us on loan. I think he came in on loan from Crystal Palace, didn't he?
Yeah, I think he did. Yeah.
So I can't remember though if it was Brucey who signed him on loan or if it was before Brucey came. I can't remember that, to be honest.
The year we got promoted, we lost twice to Wimbledon, and he certainly played in the one at St Andrews where, what was his name, the centre forward from Celtic. He got a couple of goals. I think you got one as well. I think you scored as well.
John Hartson.
Mark Birchall.
John Hartson, yeah.
I think Brucey would have had him at Palace before he came to us.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's makes sense for him to sign him, doesn't it? Then yeah. No, good player. He had a good career, didn't he? Played a lot of games as well, didn't he?
Yeah, he really did.
Yeah. So
a message I've had for Tommy was, and I'm presuming that people will know what this means, was when it came to the atomic kitten in the tunnel. The message I've had was the tide high? At the time, was Safegate the one? Was it a last goodbye? And did they want to be with you? Now, I can only presume that they are all Atomic Kitten songs, but I have no idea what they are. So if people can tell us on the shout box, please do.
The Tide is High is a song.
That would have been better if it was Graham Hyde, because we should have said the Hyde. We could have said the Hyde is high.
Was that a cover of the Blondie one?
They're all songs. All Atomic Kitten.
Yeah.
It's really sad that you know that, Mark Meredith.
You're fans, Mark.
I know the question. The question came directly from you
before the game.
Yeah.
You must have all been watching, so that's how much notice you lot were taking. At least I was in the dressing room and missed them singing live.
I think I missed them singing live as well, so it must have been me. It must have been bad.
No, I remember. I saw them.
I remember as well.
They're dancing in the pants. They normally dance in the pants.
Yeah. They had that Northern bloke who was talking to him on the big screen. That bloke was off the Big Breakfast for a little bit. I can't remember his name.
Dean,
the Mancunian bloke.
Yeah.
He was chatting to him.
Yeah.
Johnny Vaughan, was it?
No, it wasn't Johnny Vaughan. Okay. Funny enough, I met Johnny Vaughan on a train once. No, seriously.
That's why he disappeared.
Now we know why Mark's in prison.
Yeah. You meet all these people and never sees them again. Strange, that is, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Well, Tommy, mate, it's 7:30, so appreciate your time again, and thanks for joining us. Have a safe trip down to Exeter, and give them a shout down there for me tomorrow, mate, and look forward to your co-coms again, and we'll catch up soon.
Good stuff. Nice to see you all again.
Thank you.
Cheers, Tommy.
See you. Bye.
Quick prediction for tomorrow.
Quick prediction for tomorrow, Tommy, on Saturday.
Goals. Hopefully, I'm doing tomorrow's. I'm not doing Saturday's game, but I'm doing tomorrow's. So if I'm driving all of that way, I want to see a good performance.
Absolutely.
Good stuff.
All the best, mate.
Thanks, Tommy.
Thanks a lot.
Bye.
See you later, mate.
Bye.
Walk on, Tommy. Good guest.
He just pressed. Oh, I was going to tell him how to leave to the call then, but he just done it. He sussed it.
Nigel Mann's comment, we can't read out. It is quite funny, but I really cannot read it out.
No. I don't understand it. I'm too young.
No, I'm still trying to read it. I don't understand what it means.
Is it a Tommy Kitten song?
It's not a song. It's just his comment.
It's about kittens.
Well, you could say that.
Yeah, it's about tiny kittens.
Yes.
I think it's only right for us to wish Mikel and a speedy recovery as well, isn't it? He was in a very bad car accident on Saturday, and he's had no. Hasn't he broke a leg? He's broke a leg, hasn't he?
So that's horrific.
Yeah, so let's hope it doesn't end his playing career and he can come back from it.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got to say, when you saw the pictures of the car afterwards, I feared the worst. So it just shows how much you can do, doesn't it?
How did he get out of it?
It's unreal.
Yeah.
You see a lot of accidents, and you think you see the car afterwards, and you think, how did anybody survive that? But some people just get up and walk away. Don't they? It's incredible.
Yeah. No, absolutely. So all the best to Mikel Antonio from all of us, and everyone at Blues as well. I'm sure I can say that for as well. So hopefully we see him back on a football pitch in the near future. So any other thoughts on the previous two games, and then we'll come on to the women. So anyone want to say anything more about Stockport and Barnsley at all?
The only thing I'd say about Stockport was the never say die attitude that was there throughout, and also again they didn't take the foot off the pedal, which was just it's immense, because we're going up against teams who, like I said, their manager comes out and says they played at 100%. Now, if they're playing at 100% and we're not even touching 70 or 80, that shows how good this team can be as we move forward. So that's a huge takeaway from everything that's happened. But also, that was the first game at home for a long while. So I think there was also a bit of a point to prove from the team, which they certainly did. And you know, I'd be fearing tomorrow night if I was an Exeter fan, and also come Saturday. I think, you know, we have, and I still come back to it, we've got to tear a team to shreds. And I don't mean an under-21s team. You know, somebody we're against in the league to prove a point. And, you know, we got 2 games in hand over at Wrexham. We got a game in hand over Wickham. There's no reason at all that we can't kick on. And I think it'll be tough across Christmas, but after Christmas, I think kicking on, and those teams, as they start getting a few injuries, you'll see our squad depth kicking in and being okay. They will start to suffer. The only thing I would say is, I think, you know, Wrexham are now beginning to take a bit of a leaf out of our own book, because their investment that they're bringing forwards and the fact that they want to go out, splurge a bit of money in the transfer window could make it interesting. And I'll still say it's not a walk in the park. I still think we'll win the league, but I don't think it's going to be a walk in the park. So bring on Saturday. Keep the atmosphere going, guys, as well, because St Andrews, when it's rocking, is a pleasant place to be. When people aren't backing the team and they're instead getting, you know, on their backs, that doesn't help the players. But they've said it before. That noise brings on, makes them give that extra 10, 15% that they are doing. And
I think it helped though, Craig, because it was actually a team that wanted to play football against us. It was refreshing to actually see a team. I know what I'm finding is that first half, teams seem to want to suss us out, and hopefully if we can always get on top, they then have to bring on their better players. Felt like fair play to them. Second half, they did go at us. They did cause us a couple of problems.
They played football, didn't they?
Yeah, and it was nice to actually see them actually having a go. And then that's when we played better as well. And I think that it's nice and refreshing to see other teams actually, you know, give us a game. Then our atmosphere goes up then. And I mean, it does help when they've got a B6 player down playing as well. I think that helps.
Can I just ask, what is that version of Mr. Blue Sky that we've changed to before kickoff? Because it doesn't sound like ELO to me. It's different. If no one's noticed, listen out on Saturday.
No one have noticed.
Not noticed.
No, not noticed.
It does sound slightly different.
It's definitely not the original. It's not the first they did of it. Have you noticed, Ro?
Yeah, I have. It's not the original. I don't know who sings it, but it's definitely not the original.
I don't know if it's ELO now singing it.
Oh, no, I do remember. It's a girl singing it, isn't it?
No, it's a bloke singing it.
Oh, is it? I have heard a girl singing it, yeah.
I don't know if it's Jeff Lynn. I don't know if it's Jeff Lynn singing it like more recently, or...
I don't think it is, Paul, to be honest.
It's Browne. It doesn't sound like him, does it?
That's not me, no.
What are you saying, Mark?
Chris Browne.
Chris Browne.
New jingle.
If it isn't the ELO version, obviously, can we change it back, please, to the original?
I'll ask.
Please. It's only a minor thing.
One job you got, Claire.
I've got a list, honestly. I've got a list of everyone talking and asking me what to do.
Yeah.
You have some hot water in the toilets as well, please.
Yeah, it's more of an observation than a complaint, that is. I'm just saying that, you know, every time it comes on before every game, I'm thinking, this ain't ELO. This ain't
ELO, no.
Yeah. So, but those that haven't noticed, listen out on Saturday if we don't change it. But hopefully they'll change it for Saturday now. But anyway, yeah. So what do we think? I've noticed a few people comment on the booing of Mark Roberts as well on Saturday, which I thought was a bit...
It was banter. It was pure banter. And he was even laughing at it. When he was about to take a throw, we booed him. But he laughed at it and it was just banter. That's just what you know what I mean? Like, I'm not being funny. He was with us probably during one of our worst times.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes he was a little bit suspect. I think, you know, he used to have the long throw, but, you know, sometimes it's a little bit of banter. I think that's how he took it. Do you think, Craig?
Yeah, I mean, you know, you could argue that a few people were doing it and being genuine, but I think, you know, as when he went down with his injury, the first thing that happened was you had a few sniggers and a few laughs, right? But then as he came off the pitch, that was when he got the applause for coming off, and he applauded the Blues fans back. And I do think it was more banter than anything else. You know, to the outsiders looking in, if they was on Sky, they're probably thinking, what a bloody hell are Birmingham fans booing an ex-player and stuff like that. but it was, it was just that bit of a laugh, and it was the throw-ins. You couldn't help but boo when it came to the throw-ins, because that's what everybody was doing. It was just, oh, here we go, another long throw. But I've got to say, his passion for the game and really shone through, because when he got injured and the way he came off, you could tell how upset and angry he actually was about the fact of the injury that he got, which I think was just actually overstretching. There was nothing else to it. But seeing him limp off wasn't, it's never nice to see any player going off the field in a position where they're not, really 100%. So it wasn't nice to see him go, but I think it was banter.
And there it is, that's as good as it gets on this stage. Nissan Townstar EV strikes again. It's an unstoppable van, unstoppable.
Look, just fantastic. You can actually see the Pro Pilot technology in action. Effortless parallel parking.
It moves with all the confidence that comes with a 5-year warranty.
And with a bench full of all-star van experts, there's real strength in depth here.
That's all-star quality.
Search Nissan Townstar EV and visit your local all-star van centre to see for yourself.
Terms and conditions apply. 5 years or 100,000 miles, whichever comes first.
ProPilot is an advanced driver assist technology. Driver's responsibility to stay alert, drive safely, and control vehicle at all times.
Anybody else, give it to them. But, it's ex-Blue, innit? So they might boo them, but they'll applaud them afterwards, and that's what I did see.
Yeah, we sang about his throw-ins as well. Mark Roberts, your throw-ins are...
Yeah.
And then it was a joke, and everybody, and even he smiled as he took them. He thought it was funny. Yeah.
I think he did serve us well in the time he was with us. He was with us for like good 6-7 years, and
you can't.
In that time,
as well. You can't say, nobody can say he didn't try. All right, It wasn't the best time we've ever had, but no one can say he didn't try.
No.
Mark Roberts, you wrote your throw-ins are rubbish, and then there was also Mark Adams. You've got out of prison. I mean, it was just a brilliant set of songs on the day.
You were leading them off for them second one.
Well, I had to start the prison one.
Actually,
what happened with Corey O'Keefe? Was he giving them some crap at the end or something?
Corey O'Keefe was a disgrace as he came off the pitch, and for those people that were in the stand very close to where we were, which was right next to the tunnel. Then as he came off the pitch, he was the fans giving him. He shouldn't expect anything any different. But his language back, and so we say some of his hand gestures towards the fans, if that was any other time during the game, he'd have been sent off.
Yeah.
So it wasn't on at all. You're a football player playing an opposition. You've just lost a game. Take it on the chin. Don't argue back and do what you did to the fans, because it was just. It's banter at the end of the day.
Wasn't he in our academy anyway?
He's a Blues fan.
He's a Blues fan.
He's
I thought he was a Villa fan. That's what I've heard. He's a Villa fan.
No, I think he was in our academy for years. I'm more.
Yeah, but you can still be a Villa fan at the in our academy. That's what I've heard.
Yeah, I don't know, to be honest.
Craig, I thought it was interesting on your away day last week when the chap you were talking to from Barnsley was talking about his throw-ins, and I think to myself, well, hang on, mate, he's only been with you for 6 months. He's got another 320 throw-ins to take before you score off one.
Yeah. Minimum. Yeah. We're on the number 9 today, so I want to know who's the greatest player ever to play for Blues to wear the number 9 shirt.
Forsell.
Oh, yeah. That's in our time, definitely. Anyone better than that, Al? Going back further. Did Latchford
Latchford's probably greatest what I've seen.
Well, you got to go back to Latchford, obviously. England international. But if I was picking my all-time 11, Forsell would get in front of him. The only other one that I really liked was Fred Pickering. Now, he was a centre forward. I mean, it's hard to compare, because when I say he was a centre forward, he was a 1960s centre forward, and he was big and he was hard, and he had a shot like a Rockies. And we just don't get those type of people anymore. So those would be my three.
We've got a few early entries. Bob Latchford's winning quite handsomely at the moment on the shake box. One for Mick Harford as well.
Mick Harford's a great shout, actually.
Our actor friend Richard Hale has gone for Latchford or Burns. Good evening to you, Richard. Hope you're well, mate. Miami, I believe, still. So I think Horsfield deserves a mention as well.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely.
Super Kev.
I think Paul Furlong deserves a mention as well. I'm just going through my lifetime.
Furlong's record still stands, doesn't it? You know, goals to appearance ratio, he's still the best one. So
Kevin Phillips has won as well, for sure.
Kevin Phillips,
Kevin Phillips. Yeah, definitely.
Quality, wasn't he?
Yeah.
That's good.
I'm just thinking, sorry, a bit random, a bit off topic, but am I right in saying Chris Davis is our youngest ever manager?
He probably is.
Yes. Do you take interim managers? If you take interim managers, then surely Carsley would have done it.
I think Carsley's a bit older, isn't he?
He's 50, Cars.
Yeah.
I mean, when he was in charge of Blues, though,
it was
2000. I think he would have been early 40. Because isn't Davis only 38?
39.
If any of our viewers can answer that one, I'll be ever so chuffed.
I think Gary Monk was 39 when he took our job as well. So I don't know.
A little bit.
Yeah. I don't know if he was younger than Davies at the time or not. I don't know.
Yeah, if anyone knows, write to the usual address.
About Chris Davis, though, I've got to admit, seeing him in the dressing room after the game. It was, I think, well done Blues at the moment. We're seeing, like, on the touchline, we're sensing what he brings. I think it's a really good thing that they're doing, showing us inside the dressing room. It's quite nice and refreshing to be able to see it all.
A lot of things that are so different, isn't there? And that's another thing there that we've never seen before, really.
And just while we're waiting for a few more to come through as well, to cover off the ladies, because we've had 2 games as well over the past period of time. So a nice 3-1 win in Bristol, which was superb. And then, unfortunately, a disappointing 1-0 loss yesterday in the FA Cup. Fair to say that, first of all, team didn't turn up. To see Amy Merricks in her interview afterwards shows that she was not a happy person at all, and I would not have wanted to be in that dressing room afterwards. So I'm hoping that we see them coming out firing. So we, excuse me, Wednesday night, Leicester City in the Women's League Cup. So they're going to be hoping to continue the run of wins in that area, and then on to Sunday and that last game before. Say before Christmas, but actually it's the last game then until the middle of January against a Charlton side at St Andrews at 2:00 kickoff. So again, as always, if you can make it, please do. Season tickets, 36 quid and 6 quid. You cannot complain at that from a point of view for the final games of the season. It's going to be a tough old run-in, but one that we can certainly do well in. So if you can make it on Sunday, great. Come and support the ladies, and then hopefully go into that new year top of the shop. Be really nice to see. And also, don't forget Blue Nose Day on Sunday as well, so it helps continue raising funds for charities.
I was very, very disappointed. I sat there avidly watching it, and I was very, very disappointed. We talk about the first team's possession, but they must have had 90% of the possession, and didn't test their keeper once. And she was 5'5". If at that, you'd only got to get it under the crossbar and it would have gone in.
Nothing wrong with 5'5", Alan.
No.
I wouldn't stick.
It's the same as Mark Adams.
I wouldn't stick you in goal out there, to be fair.
I used to play in goal. I've played in goal a few times. Thank you. We can spring at 5'5". Might need a ladder at some point, but we can definitely move around.
Don't take me to task. I'm the least sexist person on this show.
I'm just
I
saying,
never give
height
you
is
I know. I never give you an
Did you
excuse
say
to have a
did you
go
say
at,
the least sexist?
and then you pick on this.
Did you say
Okay.
least sexist?
No,
I'm
the
not
least
talking
sexiest
about
is definitely
Definitely said
you,
that.
Ron.
And I'm talking about being heightist.
Well,
I'd be sure
the fact
that we're all right.
the fact was, she was one of them people whose backsides are too near the ground. All right.
Someone get Alan in revert. Beep, beep, beep.
Right, some number 9s then. We'll put some number 9s out there to change the subject.
I think Clayton Donaldson.
We've got John Gale, Kevin Francis, Super Kevin Francis. Hopefully we'll hear from Kev in the very near future.
John Gale wore number 8.
Yeah, he did.
I thought.
Yeah.
So Mick Graves,
Number 9.
Courtney.
not me, Mick Graves. Question has been asked: how old was Gary Rowett when he took over Birmingham?
Wasn't he 42?
First time. I don't know.
I don't know.
Hey, Ro, Bealey, if you want to call interim managers and caretaker and stuff, Bealey was 35, Richard Beale.
Oh,
Ah,
Crikey, yeah.
35 less than. No,
35 less than what?
No.
Dave Twine has said Frank Worthington for the number 9.
Oh, yeah.
yeah. Did he wear number 9? Yeah.
Well, he did from time to I think he went across the front 3, 9, 8, 9, and 10.
Yeah, 10.
Hang on, wasn't Craig Gardner joined interim manager with Steve Spooner for a short period of time as well?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah. He was only 35 then, wasn't he? 34, 35, 36, something like that.
Apparently, Nigel Mann said it's official. Claire's a keeper.
Once or twice as a goalkeeper, or else it was a defender or left back or striker at one point back in the day.
Talking of ages, Craig, you had a good birthday.
It's apart from working, it's been absolutely great.
Have you had any nice stuff?
Well,
any blues presents, Craig? Any blues?
No, do you know I've had no blues presents whatsoever. But I've had a wicked bottle of rum, which is very, very tasty.
Intel.
So yeah, don't start. But no, nothing else. Just a chill out one, really. You know, it's
What happens when you get old, in it, Craig?
When you're 22, you don't celebrate. You know what I mean? You have to wait until you're at least 30. So, just relaxing.
And I believe it was your coach's debut, wasn't it, on Saturday against Barnsley?
Yeah, that's not good. It was the coach's debut, and you know, thanks to everybody that came along actually, because it was a good day to get everybody out. And considering the weather was so bad, you know, we did really well, both getting up there and getting back, and it was hopefully the first of many. But also the other first was the club's trial of a bus from Solihull to the game midweek against Stockport, which went really, really, really well. So that was allowing us to have direct transport without having to rely on the trains, which just proved a point, because on the evening the trains were then cancelled from Barnsley. So it was just nice to be able to board the bus, get away from Solihull, straight to St Andrews.
Where did you get on the bus? Where did you get on the bus after the game? Loads of people were asking me, and I could see them back of the
So it was on Cattell Road,
right,
and was basically the bus stop at the back of the Iceland and right next to the George. You know, it couldn't have been teed up any better. And in fact, Saturday we are running the second one of the trial. So you know, it's open to official supporters clubs to start off with, but it's something that if it takes off, we'll no doubt run for everyone. But it's just nice to be able to get on there and not have to worry about the traffic.
Yeah.
You know, it's awesome coming down the bypass off the Cov Road. You got all the traffic by the side of you, and the bus is just going straight down the bus run. You know, nobody can touch them, and it's just perfect for getting there.
Calendar of a certain age where on the Coventry Road you would get hundreds upon hundreds of buses
lining up,
lining up to take you home. You didn't go there in a car or come back.
Yeah, and this was the feedback from people was that it was just nice to be able to walk out, board the bus, get away. And, you know, we were back home before 11 o'clock, and considering the traffic, did really, really well.
Yeah, for anyone that pronounces it differently and the way it's spelled, it's Cattle Road.
I was going to say it's Cattle Road, not Cattle.
Cattle.
Cattle Road, yeah.
It's a posh.
I always talk Cattle Road.
Cattle Road.
The posh way of saying it, isn't it? Cattle Road.
What's Nigel Mann trying to say? How heavy do you weigh? You know what I mean? I'm sprightly 14 stone.
Jesus.
14 stone?
14 stone.
14.
Rowett apparently was 40 when he managed Blues.
Yeah.
Rowett.
Who was? Sorry, you missed it. Who was?
Gary Rowett.
Oh, right.
Also,
I know the first manager who was younger than me was Lou Macari. That's 91 in it.
Yeah.
I was 40 myself then.
Yeah, the first manager that was younger than me was Gary Monk. Yeah, he was 39 when he came. And yeah. Yeah, I was just trying to think. Yeah, he was younger than me at the time. But give a shout out to our very own Jude Bellingham as well for being nominated for Sports Personality of the Year. And he was always he was also selected for was it World 11 as well? Is that right?
Yeah.
What was it? Yeah, is that right? So
I mean, it's phenomenal of somebody like you know, who would have thought that a young lad from Birmingham would go to where he is now and not just that, but first time of really running in Sports Personality. And I know, you know, he's done brilliant in Spain and everything else. But can you imagine if he'd have actually and wasn't he third or fourth in the Ballon d'Or as well?
Third.
Yeah.
You know, if we'd have won something, there's a question. If England had have won Euros, would he have walked away with the Ballon d'Or?
He walked away with a knighthood, I think.
Yeah.
I honestly think he'd have taken the Ballon d'Or if England had have won the competition, and it wouldn't surprise me for him being in the running for Sports Personality of the Year at all. You know, it's up against some tough names though. So you know, obviously when the voting comes out, ladies and gents, don't forget it'll all be down to the public vote. So make sure that you are voting for our very own Jude Bellingham.
Who's he up against? Do we know? Who else has been nominated?
Luke Littler.
Okay, yeah, that's
three. There's another one, Catherine something.
Personality? What personality?
I can't remember what her name is.
I'll pull up the details.
Well, he won the Champions League, didn't he, this year with Real Madrid debut season, and he had a phenomenal first season, and he's started scoring again now, hasn't he? Because I think they've moved him in position wise, haven't they?
Well, he won the Champions League at only 20 years old, so.
So he's up against Kelly Hodgkinson from the Athletics, who got the 800 metres gold in Paris. He's up against Luke Littler, Joe Root, obviously England's captain and all-time goal scorer, all-time points scorer for England. Share a story for the paracycling. Alex Yee from the triathlon. So that's the running.
Is Joe Root the all-time run scorer for England? Is he?
He's all-time run scorer, yeah.
Come past Alistair Cook, wasn't he?
Yeah.
The Cook has it. I didn't know that.
So he surpassed Alistair Cook's mark of 12,472 runs. And as really sad as it is, I'm reading this off the BBC website, but his best career score was 262 against Pakistan.
Yeah, great player, Joe Root, brilliant.
Any more on cricket, and I'm going to close this show.
Yeah. So, but on that front, Jude, come on.
It's just mad to think when you think about that, you know, that we've created, or I say we, that our club has created the third best player in the world.
Crazy,
you know,
isn't it?
And he will go on to be the winner of the Ballon d'Or as well in seasons to come. I don't doubt that whatsoever.
Well, I mean, just to highlight what they've said here, he was the highest position of an Englishman since Frank Lampard, who came second in 2005.
Yeah.
In his first season, he was named La Liga Player of the Season and Champions League Young Player of the Season, as well as collecting the Larousse World Breakthrough of the Year award. So phenomenal, really. 23 goals. 23 Brilliant. Goals in his opening season.
Yeah, phenomenal player. Really is. He's only going to get better and better as well. He's not even at his peak yet, is he? He's still only very young. So
there's our next England captain, ladies and gents.
And Ballon d'Or winner.
Yeah.
We better do predictions quickly, hadn't we?
Yeah. So I'll start us off with tomorrow. I think we'll win 2-0, and Saturday I think we'll win 3-1. Mark Meredith.
I'm going to go 3-0 tomorrow and 2-0 on Saturday.
Claire?
I'm going to go 3-0 tomorrow, and I'm going to go 3-0 on Saturday.
2 back-to-back 3-0s, that'll be nice. Craig?
I'm feeling really positive, so I'm going 3-0 tomorrow. And I quite fancy us to get 4 on Saturday. I don't know what it is, I just think we're going to click.
Very good. Rob?
I'm going to go 2-1 tomorrow, and I'm going to say 3-0 Saturday.
Okay, that'll do.
Yeah.
Alan?
I'll go 2-0 tomorrow and 4 on Saturday.
Chris?
I'm going to go completely the other way. I'm going to go 4-1 tomorrow, and I'm going to go 3-0 Saturday.
Brilliant.
That'd be nice.
And we'll be back next week for our Christmas special, won't we? So we won't be obviously having a show on the 23rd because we're actually playing, aren't we, that night? So we'll be back next week for our Christmas special, and that'll be it then until the new year, I believe. Chris, is that right?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So join us next Monday for our very Christmas special.
Are we doing Christmas jumpers? I think we should.
Oh, yeah.
Standard.
So Robe, do you better find one you can steal?
It's all right stealing it. It's getting one to fit.
Have you got? Do they do Christmas jumpers in the States, Mark Meredith?
I got one somewhere.
Cool. I've seen him in his night.
No, we've seen you in the onesie, mate. I mean, come on, you can't get away with it now.
That picture's going up, I'm telling you. That's awful.
Can't see you. Oh, yeah. Oh, I love that.
Oh, yeah.
It's a Sergeant Pepper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very nice.
See? And that onesie's so comfy as well. I get that.
Has anyone got a Blues Christmas jumper?
Yeah, I got one.
I've had last year's for this one. I think this one's very in your face.
In your face.
Yeah, it's like a lot. Well, I prefer the last one.
Who donated theirs to Robe?
You don't understand. You know, at one point we was thinking of doing a collection on the coach for the driver, and then Mark thought it was for him, so I had to stop doing it.
Zero dear.
Everybody rattles a tin on an away day.
Yeah. Well, all the best as well to everyone doing the sleep out on Monday for Blue Nose Day. I hope you raise, obviously, as much as you possibly can. And, you know, again, thanks to Tom Wagner for matching that as well, whatever it's going to be. Thanks to Tommy Mooney as well for joining us tonight. And, yeah, thanks to everyone for watching. It's good night from me. Good night from Claire Giblin.
Good night from me. Safe journey to everyone going down tomorrow. And it's a good night from the Robe himself.
Good night from me. And I'm not going to mess it up this week. And I'm going to pass over to Mark.
Oh, thanks, Rob. It's a good night from me, and it's a good night from the birthday boy, Craig Courtney.
Hey, and it's a good night from me. And if you want raffle tickets, £2 each, £5 for a strip, £200 for the winner. I mean, come on, great odds. Give me a shout if you want to have a go. And I'm going to hand over to the chairman of the board, Mr. Alan Watton.
Thank you, Mr. Fixer, and I'd like to wish you all a very good night, and God bless you all, and hand over to the man on the machine, Mr. Chris Browne.
Hey, it's good night for me, and thank you for the one kind word about my jingles. Hopeless.
Whose jingles?
Thank you. Thank you.
Hey, Robe, I've still got your tag, mate.
Have you? I'll be looking for that. They're a nuisance, they are.
Why didn't you leave them in Barnsley, Craig? You should have left him there.
What was your like, Craig? Was you still blowing your candles out?
Indeed. I was pouring the rum, mate.
I don't want to see Chris jingles.
Oh, no.
The TalkSport Fan Network is proud to be partnering with Lotto from the National Lottery. Make this Wednesday one to remember. You've got to be in it to win it. Lotto is the original millionaire maker, where you could become the next millionaire. Rules and procedures apply. Players must be 18 or over.
Yo, UK! At BetMGM, we give our players sports betting entertainment like nobody's business. Football, horse racing, darts, boxing, tennis, golf, NFL, NBA. You name it, we got it. Offers? You know it. Bet £10 and get £40 in free bets. BetMGM, it's showtime.
New customers only. Exclusions apply. 18 plus. Please gamble responsibly.
This podcast is proud to be part of the TalkSport Fan Network. TalkSport. Powered by fans.